What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over advice for new lifters. Alright, stick around if you want to see the rest. We're going to be going over advice for new lifters. But before we get into anything, just wait a second. Go ahead and click the subscribe button below and turn on the post notifications icon, which is the little bell. Go ahead and ring it, or you guys can get notifications whenever I come up with a new video. Alright, so the topic for today's video is what are some advice or tips for new lifters? Because a lot of my friends are starting to get into lifting because they see the other people, living a healthy lifestyle, and they want to improve their lifestyle as well. So for me, I say that in terms of frequency, how many times you should be working out a day, I think that 3 times a week is like the bottom line for a beginner weightlifter. You should be doing strength training at least 3 times a week, and the best split for this would be a training program would be a full body training program where you hit all of your muscle groups in one day. So it may be a little rough, but I feel like that a full body program is the best for beginners. It's because they can learn all of the different types of workouts and muscle groups that are in conjunction with each other. You should definitely be doing your compound lifts, but I feel like you should wait on your compound lifts and just get into the motions of working out and filling out the gym. And one of the most important things I believe for a new lifter to have is just to go at their own pace. You should be limiting yourself to whatever you can do. So when you're trying to do lifting or something, you should be doing a weight that you can do at least like 15 reps with, something light, something that you can do. Don't try to go for a weight that you can only do maybe like 6 reps, because if you're a beginning lifter, you need to do low weights so you don't have an increased risk of injury. Alright, so the reason why I recommend that is because if you're like doing dumbbell curls and you do maybe 10s, you may not be doing the form, correctly, but at least you're not really in trouble or risk of injury. What I'm trying to get at here is go with light weights when you're beginning, and just feel and try to perfect your form while doing these exercises. That's really what you need to do when you're starting to begin. That's what I did. I just did like basically either the bar or like low dumbbell weights and just felt out and tried to perfect my form as much as I did. I was always looking up YouTube videos or going on bodybuilding sites just to figure out what is the most like common form for this exercise, what are the variations, what targets what. There's a lot of research that goes into weightlifting, so you're not hurting yourself in the gym. So I do recommend that go with a light weight, and another tip is research or perfect your form. So form is basically, or the way you're supposed to be set up during the workout. When you're doing squats, you need to be straight up, feet out, like maybe like 45-degree angle, and maybe your feet or your legs are shoulder width apart, and then you're squatting down like you're going into a chair, right? You need to really figure out these forms and techniques for these exercises that you're going to be doing for the rest of your training program, the full body split. So I think like the full body split would probably have leg press, bench press, or pull-ups. You need to really like look online, or go to a personal trainer or somebody that who's very experienced in the gym, so you can get the proper form so you don't hurt yourself. Another tip that I would also advise is that don't compare yourself to others. I feel like if you start comparing yourself to others, you're going to want to do more. And I think this is where ego lifting comes from. You see others doing a lot more difficult or advanced techniques or advanced lifts, and you think it's pretty cool, so you want to do the same. But I think just go at your pace. Like I said before, go at your own pace. Try to figure out what you want, what are the goals you're achieving, and try to map that out for yourself. So comparing yourself is going to lead to, ego lifting, mental problems as well. If you're comparing yourself to people who have been doing this for years and years, and you're comparing yourself to other people when you've only been doing it for maybe like 2 months or 3 months, you're going to see the repercussions of that. You're not going to stop going as frequently, or you're going to like maybe kind of shut yourself out of trying to improve your lifestyle, or in trying to improve your diet, your weightlifting. And another tip that I have is that results are going to take a while. And why I say that is because you're going to need to have patience. Results are not going to come in the first month. They're not going to come in the second month. They're not going to come in the third month. It takes a long time for you to see visible results. You may notice that you're losing a couple of pounds. You may notice that you're gaining a couple of pounds. But I wouldn't say don't get too mixed up in your weight, because it could just mean that you had a full stomach before you went to the gym. It could mean that you're putting on more water weight. It doesn't necessarily mean you're gaining muscle or fat. You would be able to see you'd be able to see it visibly if you are gaining muscle or if you are gaining fat. So I wouldn't like stress out over the weight. I know weight is a big thing, and you go to the gym for like a month and you're wondering why you're still the same weight. It takes a long time to start building on that muscle. It takes, I would say, maybe like 1 pound of muscle for a month, and that may be overestimating, to be honest. Another tip that I have is to work on your form. I think I hit this already, but if you're working on your form, you're going to reduce risk of injury. You're going to be able to start lifting more and more weight if you have the basics. As many people say, when you're building a skyscraper, you want to have a good, strong base, so then you can start building on top of those floors. Weightlifting is kind of the same thing. If you want to have a strong lift, you're going to need to know the basics or the form of the exercise, so you can start putting on those numbers and putting on that muscles, because you're doing a lot more than what you used to do. And this is my last tip: limit your gym time to an hour and a half or less. If you're a beginner, you should not be in the gym for more than an hour and a half, because I know full body is going to take a long time. It's not that easy to fit all those muscle groups in, but you shouldn't be taking so much rest or doing other things that are taking away from the exercise. So limiting it to an hour and a half, it's like the sweet spot. You don't need to be going over. You don't need to be going under. I'd say an hour or an hour and a half is probably the best, because when you're doing that for longer, you're either resting too long, your workout is way too extensive. I guess there's too many exercises. You're not hitting the core muscle groups. You're kind of fatiguing yourself. If you're doing it for more than an hour and a half, you're already pooped at that point, or you're just going through the motions and trying to do more things that it's not going to necessarily give you more benefits. I hope you guys took something away from this video, because I know there's a lot of friends that are trying to get into weightlifting, and I just wanted to help them out, and hopefully it helped you guys out. Out of all these, the most important one is probably go at your own pace. If you're going at your own pace and being consistent, you're going to start seeing results. But you have to be patient, consistent, and just go at your own pace. If you're trying to do or imitate somebody else, that's not going to work for you, because we're all different, So if we all have different genetic makeup or different limitations or different advantages. Try to limit your workout to you. Try to change it to how you are. So I feel like a beginner should always be mindful of what they're doing and how they're doing it. So if you guys like the video, go ahead and like it. And if you guys have any more questions on what you should be doing if you're starting out, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. And if you have any experienced lifters watching the channel, go ahead and leave your advice in the comment box below. Yep, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Go.